Excellent. Hello, good evening, everyone. It's now 6:30 p.m. and I would like to call the regular Design Review Board meeting of December 1st, 2022 to order. Before I proceed, I would like to take a moment to go over our meeting protocols. The South Pasadena Design Review Board meeting will be conducted both in person and virtually via Zoom. And to maximize public safety while still maintaining transparency and public access, members of the public can observe the meeting digitally over Zoom. Will staff please take roll call?
Board Member Carlson has an excused absence. Board Member Nichols.
Here.
Board Member Younger has an excused absence. Vice Chair Sy.
Here.
Chair Hill.
Here.
You have quorum.
Great, thank you. Okay, next we will move on to the approval of the agenda. Board members, do you have any requests for additions or revisions to the agenda? And if so, please raise your hand. Seeing none, I'd like to take a vote of the board to proceed with the approval of the agenda as submitted. So all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Excellent. All those who oppose say nay, which is not the case. So it's now approved. Next, we'll move on to the disclosure of site visits and ex parte contacts. Board members, did either of you visit the site or contact anyone regarding the items on today's agenda? So Board Member Nichols,
No, I did not.
Vice Chair Sy,
No, I have not.
and myself, I did not either. We will now move on to the general public comment section. Staff, have we received any public comments in person or via Zoom for any items not on the agenda this evening?
We have not received public comments in chambers. People on Zoom, please click the hand icon to make a public comment. We do not have public comments via Zoom.
Great, thank you. So we will now move on to our continued items. So we have one continued item this evening. It's at 221 Fairview Avenue, and it's to allow for a 400 square foot addition to an existing single family dwelling. Staff report, please.
Hi, good evening, board. So this first item on our docket today. 221. The first item on our agenda tonight is a continued item from our last design review board meeting. And it is for the property address at 221 Fairview Avenue, project number 2492, design review. So a little bit of background on this project, which was originally presented during the October 6th Design Review Board meeting. At that time, staff had recommended to the board to form a subcommittee in order to work with the applicant to refine the proposed design. Upon the revised design, staff then recommended that the board approve the project. And in that time, the board had agreed with staff's recommendation, forming a subcommittee made up of Board Member Nichols and Board Member Carlson. The subcommittee met with the applicant 2 times. The first was on October 13th, where they provided direction on the proposed design, specifically breaking up that front wall plane along the easterly side of the residence, which is the front facade. On October 20th, the applicant did submit an updated color rendering to the subcommittee for review. And the subcommittee agreed that the design was heading towards the right direction. However, the feasibility of submitting the updated plans and review in time for the November 3rd DRB meeting was raised. And it was then recommended that during the regular meeting on November 3rd, the applicant provide a presentation to solicit comments from the board on some of the new design elements, which at that time, majority of the comments were related to the material, as well as carrying it to specific wall planes around the location. So the applicant has submitted a new redesign, and based on the new redesign, they are now requesting a design review permit to add 406 square feet of the existing single-family dwelling. The addition will still be broken up into two sections. So the existing front porch is still proposed to be enclosed, and that addition will now be 145 square feet. The addition towards the back where the sunroom is proposed to be located is now 260 square feet. They still propose an interior remodel to the bedrooms, bathrooms, and that storage space area. And even with the proposed modifications and additional square footage, the project still complies with the development standards for the RS zone, as well as small non-conforming residential lot standards. This slide before you identifies the previous as well as the new design. So at the top, you can see that before that enclosed addition at the front was going to match, only leaving a small porch area. With the new proposed design, they are proposing to bring it forward more into the front setback area, breaking up that wall plane at the front facade area. This is a floor plan identifying some of the modifications and the subtle additions to like the kitchen area and that sunroom as well. This elevation is for the front, which is the easterly side. Again, the top identifies the previous design with that area highlighted in purple, and then the bottom identifies the new proposed modifications. This elevation is the west side, which is the rear. So for this elevation, it does identify some of the changes to the windows in the sunroom and some of the material that's proposed to be carried around this elevation. We have the northern side, which does identify the front entrance to the residence, as well as that new pop-out area that is proposed along the front setback. And finally, this is the south side, which is a view along the driveway, which breaks up some of the materials. Based on these modifications, staff now recommends that the design review board approve the project subject to the conditions of approval. And this concludes my presentation. The applicant is here in chambers to answer any questions.
Great, thank you. So we will now open it up for questions to the staff. So Vice Chair Tsai, do you have any questions for the staff?
I have no questions.
Board Member Nichols, do you have any questions for the staff?
No.
And I also do not have any questions for the staff. So we will then open up the public hearing. Staff, are there any public comments for this item?
We have not received any requests for public comment in chambers. People on Zoom, please click the hand icon to make a public comment on item number 2. We do not have public comments via Zoom.
Great, thank you. Does the applicant have a presentation or would like to discuss the project at all? Nope. Okay, great. So then in that case, I think that we can close the public comments and have a discussion amongst ourselves. So would someone like to begin? Vice Chair Tsai?
I think it's improved a lot since the original design. I haven't seen it. I wasn't here for the November meeting, but since the October meeting submission, I think it's I like how it's, revised, and I think the windows are proportional. The front elevation is so much better. Yeah.
I agree. Do you have anything to add?
No, I think most everything we've talked about has kind of been addressed. And,
Yeah,
looks good.
I agree. I didn't see in the presentation, but the current renderings, and I've seen it in the agenda packet, those really, I think, highlight the project and the changes to material, and it's done, and I think it was executed really well. So I'm comfortable approving the project this evening. I don't know how
Yeah.
Others
me too.
feel?
I would agree.
Okay, so I'll make the motion to approve the project with the provided conditions of approval or conditions of approval. And so do I have a second motion?
I'll second that.
Excellent. So all in favor, we'll go down the line and say aye. So Vice Chair Sai,
Aye.
Board Member Nichols,
Aye.
and myself, aye, yes. So we will, so the project is now approved from a vote of 3-0. Sorry, one moment. It passes by a vote of 3-0, and it is subject to the conditions of approval. This decision is final unless an appeal is filed within 15 days from today, and no construction or activity may commence during this period. Appeal forms may be obtained from the city clerk's office. Congratulations. Excellent. So we are now going to move on to the public hearing portion. Our first item under the public hearing is 521 Floral Park Terrace, and that's to an addition of 480 square feet to an existing single-family home. Staff presentation, please.
Hello, Design Review Board. It is me once again.
Hello.
Item number 3 on our docket today is project number 2399 and design review for the property located at 521 Floral Park Terrace. So the subject site is a rectangular lot located on the westerly side of Floral Park Terrace between Hermosa Street and Sterling Place. The lot measures approximately 6,500 square feet and is bounded by residential to the north, south, east, and west. The site is currently developed with a single-family dwelling and an attached garage. The slide before you identifies a street view image of the property, which was built in 1938. And the property is a non-contributor to the eligible Mid-Grand Avenue Revival District, which is composed of modestly sized period revival single-family residences. The applicant is requesting a design review permit to add 488 square feet to the rear of the single-family dwelling. The property is located within the residential single-family zone and is developed with a 1,219 square foot residence and attached garage at the front. The property has undergone very minimal modifications, with permit records only showing permits for re-roofs, electrical upgrades, mechanical and plumbing permits. The addition is proposed at the rear of the existing single-family dwelling along the westerly side, which is proposed to be demolished. That wall is proposed to be demolished to create a space for the addition, which will add an additional bedroom with a bathroom and a closet. In addition to that, a new 174 square foot trellis is proposed at the rear of the new addition area. The project complies with the development standards for the RS zone, and since the lot is less than 10,000 square feet, it is subject to the small non-conforming residential standards, and a breakdown of the development standards is provided in your staff report as well. This slide before you identifies the site plan for the proposed project, where the purple area is for the addition, and the green identifies the proposed trellis at the rear. We have a floor plan for the existing and the proposed. Again, purple identifies that addition area and the green is for the trellis. This view is from the front facade, which is on the easterly side, very minimal visibility. It would just, the roof edge would just be visible from along that perspective. This is on the southerly side. The northerly side. And finally, we have the rear, which is on the west. Overall, staff's recommendation this evening is that the design review board approve the project subject to the conditions of approval. This concludes my presentation. Staff is available to answer any questions, and the applicant is available in the public as well.
Great, thank you. So we will ask questions for the staff. Board Member Nichols, do you have any questions for the staff?
No.
Vice Chair Sai?
No.
I also don't have any questions for the staff. So in that case, we will open up the public hearing. Staff, are there any public comments for this item?
We have not received a request for public comment in chambers. People on Zoom, please click the hand icon to make a public comment on item number 3. We do not have public comments via Zoom.
Great, thank you. Does the applicant have a presentation or would they like the opportunity for a 3-minute rebuttal or discussion? No? Okay. In that case, we will close the public comments and we'll have a discussion amongst ourselves. And I just encourage everybody, let's turn on our microphones and we'll just have a very open discussion. But if you'd like to start us off, Board Member Nichols?
Sure.
Great.
You know, it seems like it matches the existing house. It doesn't really modify much of what you can see from the public realm of the existing house, and even the addition itself is, I mean, it's the same materiality, it's the same scale. So I don't really have much to comment on.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's very appropriate and very,
Yeah,
Straightforward.
I felt the same, straightforward. It was exactly what I was thinking. I think
Yeah.
it's pretty, it's material, massing, context, everything just seems like it fits.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
would anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the project with conditions of approval.
Excellent. Do I hear a second?
I second.
Okay, great. So, we'll make a motion and we did this motion in the second. And so, will staff please take roll call?
Board Member Nichols?
Aye.
Vice-
Vice
Vice Chair
Chair Sai?
Yes.
Chair Hill?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Excellent, thank you. So congratulations. Your project passes by a vote of 3-0 and the project is approved, subject to the conditions of approval. The decision is final unless an appeal is filed within 15 days from today. No construction or activity may commence during this period and appeal forms may be obtained from the city clerk's office. Congratulations. All right, we will now move on to our next agenda item. This is at 725 Fair Oaks Avenue. It's a request for one illuminated wall sign on the south elevation facing Hope Street of a multi-tenant building. The project also includes one awning sign and the removal of one projecting sign facing Fair Oaks Avenue.
Before we proceed, I'd like to recuse myself from this project.
Well, Chair Heroes, can we go back to 1023 Allen?
Oh,
I think you're reading 725.
Oh, did I skip one? I sure did. I apologize. We're going to go backwards. So you do
okay.
not need to recuse yourself.
okay.
Let's go backwards. Sorry about that. So we are actually on item number 4 of our agenda at 1023 Adeline Avenue. And that's a request for the demolition of an existing single-family dwelling and constructing a new 2,290 square foot single-family house with an attached 500 square foot garage. Staff presentation, please.
Actually, I have to recuse myself from that project because I live within 1,000 feet of the property.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So, Chair, here in that case, since we don't have a quorum to review that project, this item will automatically continue to the next regular design review board meeting on January 5th of 2023.
Okay,
Since right now we don't have 2 board members, so this item will continue to the next regular meeting.
okay, great. So then now we'll move on to the next agenda item.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. So we are now on agenda item 5, and that's 725 Fair Oaks Avenue. And as I had previously mentioned, this is for an illuminated wall sign on a multi-tenant building. Staff is report, please. Thank you.
Good evening, board members. This item is item number 5 on the agenda. It's for 725 Fair Oaks Avenue, project number 2498 DRX SGN for sign. This next slide is an aerial view of the subject property, which is located on the northwest corner of Fair Oaks and Hope Street. The project proposal request is one illuminated sign on the south elevation, which is facing Hope Street, one awning sign on the east elevation, which is facing Fair Oaks Avenue. And the project also includes a request for a removal of a projecting sign on the east elevation, which is facing Fair Oaks. This project is exempt under CEQA. Now for some site specifications and some background, the zone of the subject property is commercial general. The lot size is 9,629 square feet with a width of 57 feet and a length of 169 feet. The building size is 7,038 square feet, and the subject tenant is taking the first floor, which is 3,225 square feet. On February 9th, 2021, the project use was approved with a CUP AUP. And the tenant or the applicant obtained their business license on May 11th, 2021. This next slide is a drawing of the site plan. The red arrow points to the wall sign. And this next slide is the wall specifications. The top logo will be a total of 16.6 square feet. And the bottom signage, in which the text reads Kim's Hapkido, will be 49.2 square feet. I'm sorry, 32.6 square feet for a total sign area of 49.2 square feet. This is the south elevation, which is facing Hope Street. And you can see the sign. This is a photo rendering of the sign. The total linear feet of the building is 59.5 linear feet. The maximum allowed signage is 29 square feet in area. The proposed wall sign is 49.2 square feet in area. Now this is the east elevation, which is facing Fair Oaks. At the very top, you can see an arrow pointing to the projecting sign, which is proposed to be removed. And it belonged to the previous tenant, which was a pet store. And the current sign, the current projecting sign reads pets. In this elevation, you could see the awning. The awning sign is currently there, and there are two awning signs, but the applicant will be removing the awning sign that is located on the south elevation. This is an image of the awning sign that is facing Fair Oaks. And it is a total of 5.1 square feet. Staff recommends that the Design Review Board approve project number 2498 DRX sign with the conditions of approval. Staff is here to answer any questions.
Great, thank you. So we will now ask questions for the staff. Vice Chair Sai, do you have any questions?
I have no question.
Board Member Nichols, any
Uh,
questions?
Just one, when you say removing the awning sign, the awning's going to remain. It's just the signage lettering on the awning.
That's correct.
That was it.
Okay, great. And I don't have any questions for staff. So now we will open up for the public hearing. Staff, are there any public comments for this specific item?
Thank you, Chair. We have not received a request for public comment in chambers. For our guests on Zoom, please click the hand icon to make a public comment on item number 5. We do not have public comment via Zoom.
Great, thank you. Does the applicant want the opportunity to present or discuss anything for 3 minutes?
The applicant does not have a presentation, but they are here to answer any questions.
Okay, great, excellent. Do we have any questions for the applicant?
No.
Do you have any questions for the applicant? I do have one question, actually. And maybe this could be directed towards staff too, if this was discussed previously, but is the logo above so the one on the south side on Hope Street, is the logo itself with the three figures? Yeah, if we can go to that, that'd be, yeah, so that, perfect. Is that the official logo of the Hapkido of the business?
It is.
It is the official logo. Okay.
The-
Okay. All right. Great. Thanks. Okay, in that case, that was my only question.
Actually, I might ask a further question on the
Okay.
logo. The letters are kind of, they have a depth to, is the logo, have that same depth as the letters?
I have a cross or a section image here. So the letters and the logo would be projecting 8
Okay.
inches.
Yeah, that's kind of what I
from the wall.
assumed. I just thought. I
Okay.
should ask.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any more questions for staff or the applicant? No? Okay, well then in that case, we'll close the public comments and we'll have a discussion amongst ourselves. So if you can turn on your microphones. And Board Member Nichols, would you like to kick us off?
I don't really have any comments. I think
Yeah,
it kind of fits the street. It's a commercial street.
And it's with under actually the standard. So, yeah, I think it's.
The only comment that I had was just because I was asking about the logo and if it was the official logo. I was just curious that you see 3 figures there. And I understand that's one of the moves that it does look like a body in motion. So that's great. But I'm just curious about the size and seeing it from the street and if it's going to be easily legible. So not so much of it's more of a recommendation, but if it's an official logo, then I would not want to necessarily change anything about that. But that was the only thing that I was questioning when I first reviewed it in the packet. So more of a recommendation than anything. But I think, it's pretty straightforward again. So if anybody would like to make a motion.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to say it, but I would make a motion to approve.
That's perfect. Do we get a second for that motion?
I'll second that.
Excellent. So we have one motion by Board Member Nichols and a second by Vice Chair Tsai. So will staff take roll call, please?
Board Member Nichols,
Yes.
Vice Chair Tsai,
Yes.
Chair Hill,
Yes.
motion carries.
Great. Excellent. So congratulations. It passes by a vote of 3-0 and the project is approved subject to the conditions of approval. This decision is final unless an appeal is filed within 15 days from today and no construction or activity may commence during this period. Appeal forms may be obtained from the city clerk's office. Congratulations. Okay, we are now moving on to item number 6 on the agenda, and that is at 2060 Primrose Avenue. And this is an addition of 417 square feet to the rear of a single family home. Presentation, please, staff. Thank you.
Good evening. I will be presenting on project number 2520-DRX for the property located at 2060 Primrose Avenue. The subject site is a rectangular lot on the easterly side of Primrose Avenue between Alhambra Road and Maple Street. It is surrounded by residential uses to the north, south, east, and west. Here is a street view of the existing property. The site is currently developed with a 906 square foot existing single-family dwelling and a 356 square foot detached garage. The property is zoned RS for residential low density. The lot size is 7,501 square feet, and the property is considered a small, non-conforming residential lot. The original property was built in 1939 and has since undergone some minor modifications, such as the addition of the front porch in 1962. Other permit history has identified work for re-roofs, stucco repair, and window restoration, and so on. The most recent building permit was in 2006, and it was a permit issued for the construction of a swimming pool and a spa. The project proposal is for a 417 square foot addition that is located at the rear of the existing single-family dwelling. The addition will consist of 2 new bedrooms and 1 new bath. Additionally, there will be some interior remodeling of the existing kitchen and a new expanded porch entry. The project is exempt from secret requirements as it is eligible for Class 1 exemption. Here are the existing and proposed site plans. The work that is being proposed is highlighted in orange. As you can see, the addition is located mostly in the rear and is subordinate to the existing house. There's also some minor work being done to the front facade in relation to the new front porch entry. Here are the existing and proposed floor plans that also shows the work highlighted in orange. These are the front elevations, the existing and proposed. As you can see, there's minor alteration to the front facade. The new porch entry will include steps with wood railings. The proposed work will not modify the existing architectural design of the residence. Here are the existing and proposed north elevations that show where most of the work is being conducted in the rear. Here are the existing and proposed rear elevations that show the new facade and of the addition and the pitched roof line. Here are the existing and proposed side elevations. This slide indicates, shows the existing and proposed roof plans. Staff recommends the design review board approve project number 2520 DRX, subject to the conditions of approval. Thank you. That concludes my presentation. Staff is happy to answer questions, and the applicant is here and available for questions as well.
Great, thank you. Do we have any questions for the staff? Vice Chair Sai,
No, I have no questions.
Board Member Nichols?
Yeah, do we know what the new front porch, there's a note on what the railing's made out of.
Yeah,
But is the porch itself, the steps, is that all concrete or?
correct.
That was my-
Okay, great, thanks. I don't have any questions for the staff. So, does the applicant have a presentation this evening?
He does not, but he's available for questions.
Okay, excellent. Do we have any questions for the, do we have any questions for the applicant? Oh, I apologize. I actually forgot to open up the public hearing. So I'll now open up the public hearing. Staff, are there any public comments for this item?
We have not received a request for public comments in chambers. And we do not have public comments via Zoom.
Okay, great, thank you. So now we'll go back to, do we have any questions for the applicant?
I have no question.
I don't know.
Member Nichols, no. I don't have any questions for the applicant either. So we'll now, I guess, close the public comments portion and we'll discuss it amongst ourselves. If we can just turn on our microphones and I'm happy to kick us off this time. I think it's pretty straightforward. It seems like it's well integrated. The massing seems like it works. It's also at the rear of the property and the porch at the front, that minor patio, I think it looks integrated pretty well. So that's my take on it. I don't know how.
Yeah, I think the porch is an improvement too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
I like it. Yeah,
Okay,
That's a
great.
little interest. to the
yeah,
front.
it
Yep.
really does. Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm ready to make a motion to approve this project.
Yeah, me too.
Number 2.
So would anyone like to officially make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve this project with the conditions of approval.
I'd second that.
Excellent. So we have a motion made by Vice Chair Sai and a second by Board Member Nichols. Staff, will you please take roll call?
Board Member Nichols,
Yes.
Vice Chair Sai,
Yes.
Chair Hill,
Yes.
motion carries.
Great, thank you. So congratulations, your project passes by a vote of 3-0 and the project is approved subject to the conditions of approval. This decision is final unless an appeal is filed within 15 days from today and no construction or activity may commence during this period. Appeal forms may be obtained from the city's clerk's office. Thank you. So we are now done with our public comment, the public items for this evening. And we are moving on to the administration. So that would be comments from board members. Board members, are there any comments? Vice Chair Sai,
No comments.
Board Member Nichols?
No comment.
My only comments is that I hope everybody has a great holiday. I hope everybody's enjoying December and they're gonna enjoy some relaxing time off. We also have, next item is comments from subcommittees. I don't believe we did form a subcommittee on the prior project, but that project has been approved, so I don't think we need any comments from any subcommittees. So we'll move on to the next, which is comments from staff. And so staff, are there any comments this evening?
Good evening, board members. So first of all, thank you all for making yourself available and so have a good finish of December. Thank you all for helping out process outlook project. As you can see, we have so many projects here, but also more in the next coming years. But the other thing is staff would like to introduce our new deputy director, Allison Becker here. And she came from City of LA and she's a certified planner. So we're lucky and so excited to have her to help out with all the ongoing current planning and long range efforts. So Allison, talk about herself a little bit.
Great, excellent. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for running a very efficient, quick meeting. This is pretty much the quickest one that I've attended in the last month. So thank you so much for that. I'm really so excited to be here and I'm so impressed with the staff, all the work that's being done. As Matt mentioned, this next couple of, 6 months to a year is just going to be nuts with advanced planning projects. And we need, our staff that are doing the current planning just to kind of be on it. And so it's been really impressive to see how well the new team is functioning. So thank you so much. Have a great holiday season. We'll look forward to seeing you again and working together. And you guys know where to find me if you have needs that I can help you with. Thank you.
Great, excellent. Thank you. Welcome.
Staff just have a few updates. I know for every meeting, staff or Angelica will talk about the housing element. So for our housing element draft, we're expected to release our 4th draft next Monday, December 5th. And we're gonna provide a 7-day public review period from starting next Monday, and we'll submit the draft to the HCD, California Department of Housing and Community Development, on December 12th. So the key is we'll release the draft next Monday, but also on December 12th, we'll submit that draft to HCD for their review. And they will have up to 45 days to review it. So hopefully we'll get it back by January 26th, around that day. So just want to kind of give board member kind of update on that. Another update is the upcoming meetings. Understand that the next meeting will be on January 5th, which is really right following the holidays. So staff was kind of exploring a different meeting day, probably the 2nd week of January. So it could be January 12th. So also I know we have 2 board members that are not here today. So what staff to do, we'll send an email to kind of check your availability to see if we can cancel the regular meeting on January 5th, but schedule a special one on January 12th, which is a Thursday after that, 2nd Thursday of the month. So, but staff will send an email to kind of get your availability before making that official. And last but not least, like Chair Hill saying, happy holidays and thank you all for all your help, contributions, all the project review. I think all applicants, staff really appreciate what you did for us this past year. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So excellent. I think then that's it. So we will make this a very quick and efficient meeting and we will adjourn. But before we adjourn, I just want to remind everyone that we are planning to have a board meeting, a design review board meeting in January, but the date is pending. The time is now 7:13 p.m. and the meeting is adjourned. Happy holidays.